What's going on, people? We are Tottenham TV back here in the studio for a review stream. We beat Everton 2-0 yesterday in the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. If you're new, well, should I say the Google Stadium now? It's not done yet, but
don't jump the gun too quickly.
But yeah, if you're new around here, please do scroll down, smash that like button, smash that subscribe button, and put that notification bell on as well to get notified every single time we upload some content for you guys, and that is fairly often. Every day you get Tottenham Hotspur content from us, so hit that notification bell and smash that subscribe button. But let's get straight into it, into the match review. Really good performance yesterday at the Lane. I think there's been a lot said about the first half performance yesterday. I think maybe we've got tiny bit of different views, but I think that all in all, I think that it was a good performance in that first half. We were the dominant side. We had control for the most part of the game, but Everton were the ones to have the best chances in that first half. But I think when you're looking at the performance as a whole, it was one of our best performances of the season. I really believe that. And once we went to 3-5-2, it was like that was it. It was like total domination. Everton had nothing, no sniff, no nothing. But concentrating on the first half, what did you make out of it?
I think, first of all, we came up the traps really strongly. I don't think we've been as aggressive, and our pressing has been as high as it was in those first, say, 15 minutes of the first half. I was really happy with how things are going. I thought that we were really suffocating Everton for those first 15 minutes. I also thought Perisic and Son down that left-hand side were causing havoc down that left-hand side early doors, and they were swinging some really good crosses into the box, and it was just some down to finishing and some really good defending as to why we weren't able to make the most of it. Set pieces, I thought we were looking really threatening. Pickford was flapping at some, and we were again, Son. I thought Son, his crossing was phenomenal in that first half. I really did. I thought it was really good. There was a period from about 15 minutes there was between 5 and 10 minute period after that where Everton did start to get back in the game. Onana was getting in the game. They had that one chance through Gray.
Good player, that Onana.
Yeah, he's got big legs, isn't he? And he grew big strides, and he's a strong midfielder.
Definitely lengthy.
Yeah, definitely lengthy. Gray had that chance, and then after Gray had that chance, I think we regained control again, and then I think it was all Tottenham pretty much until the end of the half. Albeit they did have a chance again when Romero and Højbjerg got into a mix-up, and it allowed Onana to get through and blaze over the bar. It wasn't down to their good play; it was just down to a screw-up between those two. I thought Romero was actually finding some really good passes into the front line, into Perisic, into Harry Kane. I thought Kane was looking really dangerous. He had that really great nutmeg inside the area, which forced a good save out of Pickford. He had a really good ball into the box, which Richarlison had a good chance that he blazed over the bar. Richarlison as well had a good chance with a header near the start of the game, which he blazed over. So I actually thought, for me personally, as much as people are talking about the first half, I thought we were playing in a good way. I thought we were actually we didn't maybe create proper clear-cut chances, albeit I think Richarlison had a couple of decent chances, but I actually think we were dominant, and we were actually looking threatening. People, obviously, you look on the bare face of it, and Everton had the two best chances, which is true, but I still think that we had more chances than them. We had control of the game in that first half, and especially those first 15 minutes, we were looking really energetic and really aggressive. And I was pretty happy at half time. I was saying to Marlon at half time, if we keep playing like this, we're going to score and we'll win. I'm no doubt about it. But I think for me, when we did go to a 3-5-2, it wasn't so much what we created was the big difference for me, as what we allowed going the other way. Because Everton went from having four shots on goal in that first half to 0 shots on goal in the second half. And I think the chances we created, I think they were probably a bit better in the second half.
They were much better.
I think they were a bit better. I don't think they were much better. I really don't. Like, Kane had a volley, which was a very difficult chance. That would have been a very, very good goal if we scores that. Obviously, we create the penalty, which came from a mistake. But other than that, I mean, we had chances, but like there weren't. I mean, I know Højbjerg scored near the end, which was when Everton were coming forward. But apart from that, I don't remember too many chances which were much better than what we created in the first
just
half.
Felt like we were testing the keeper time and time again in that second half, where we rarely did that in the first half. I mean, in the first half, we were just getting loads of crosses in the box, and Everton's defence was so aerially dominant with Cody and Tarkowski. I mean, they're so big and so strong. They were just battering everything away. They really were. And in the second half, I felt like we come out with new ideas and a new impetus, and the 3-5-2 really helped us go forward and back the other way. You're completely right in what you say that defensively, as soon as we went to 3-5-2, Everton had they hardly got into our half, never mind near our penalty box, let's be honest. And I felt like going forward, we were looking much more dangerous, and we had new ideas about us. Doherty was looking a lot more dangerous in that second half. Harry Kane and Sonny as well. Perisic, I thought, was probably stronger actually in the first half than he was in the second half. He was getting good balls into the box.
Yeah.
But yeah, I thought the team as a whole, as a team structure, just played so much better in that second half. Not to say that in the first half we weren't dominant and we weren't good, but I just felt like attacking wise we had so many more ideas in that second half than we did in the first.
I think we had more control, and I think when we were able to sustain attacks a lot more in the second half because of that more control, we were led to a more. I'm not saying we weren't better in the second half. I think we were better. I'm just saying I think people people who say that we were not the better team in the first half and we were poor in the first half. I don't think that's true. I think I still think we were good in the first half, and I think it was much more on the front foot. I think we looked dangerous. We were getting the ball in the box in dangerous ways. I think actually we were using the wide areas really well, especially down the left hand side. So I wasn't unhappy with how things were going in the first half, but I do think the change. I just think it's a positive because we look good in both, in my opinion.
Yeah, and also the. Same as last time when we played Leicester and when we played Brighton. As soon as Basuma came on, you saw the shackles released off Bentancur and Højbjerg, and they were really implementing stuff going forward. And I mean, like, how much energy do these guys have? They play every single game, and it comes to the last 10 minutes of the game. Bentancur is making that darting run up the right-hand side of the pitch and plays into that ball to Højbjerg. And these two guys, I mean, what a partnership they're forming. It's unbelievable. Højbjerg now 6 goals contributions in his last 6 home games. And he really is answering those critics, isn't he? Saying that he can't attack.
Yeah, it really is. 3 goals and 3 assists in all competitions this season. So that's good. That would be good stats for an attacking midfielder. The fact that he does so much defensive work as well is really, really that's an impressive tally. You got to think of that's Champions League and Premier League. So those are all of those games. You can't say, although he's done it in Carabao Cup or Europa League or anything like that. No, these are Champions League games and Premier League games. He's done it all in, and we needed a midfielder to support the attack a lot more than we were doing last season. And Højbjerg seems to be stepping up to the plate. We saw for Denmark, especially at the Euros, that given the opportunities in the final third, he can be fairly effective, and he was creating chances, and he was getting assists in the Euros, and we were wondering why he's not doing it for Spurs, and now he's finally doing it on a regular basis, and he even does it when we do play a 3-4-3 as well. But I just feel like when we play a 3-5-2, he gets even more. I think him and Bentancur get even more opportunities in the final third to show what they can do, and obviously they're not purely attacking midfielders, but they're both of them are showing, when given the opportunity in the final third, that they're not like players who can't pass the ball or can't find a pass or aren't creative. Like, they're very functional midfielders, and they're midfielders who can pick out passes and get shots off, and they're doing it with fair regularity at the moment. And the point with the 3-5-2 is absolutely right, because if you remember against Leicester, we went to a 3-5-2, and Bentancur got an assist, and Højbjerg got an assist, both in that game. And then yesterday, Bentancur assisted Højbjerg, wanted to move to a 3-5-2. So clearly, it allows them to get forward a lot more and support the attack. And we need them to do it, because in that 3-5-2, if they're not going to do it, you risk isolating Kane and Son in that 2 up there if the wing backs aren't getting in the positions. So I think it's vital they do that role, and they seem to be doing it fairly well.
Yeah, and now with Richarlison out injured, we don't know how long he's going to be out for, but it does seem like a fairly bad injury. He was on crutches after the game.
There's noises that, look, it does seem bad, but apparently there's noises that it might not be as bad.
There's noises both ways, to be fair. But with him being out injured now, Kulusevski, we don't know if he's going to be back for the Man United game. This is a big opportunity now. I mean, 3-5-2 is the only way for us to go now, isn't it, really, if these two are out?
Yeah, unless he's going to start Lucas or Gil, but I don't think that's going to happen. So I think 3-5-2 is the better. Look, I think it gives us more control in the game because I think it stops us from being overrun. I think it allows us to, as well, when we're building up the play, it gives with that extra centre mid in there, especially when it's Basuma, who's very press resistant. It allows us to actually play a lot more through the centre, which is very positive. And I think we're going to see a lot when we're playing 3-5-2, when we're playing out the back. Occasionally, you see us get caught out. I think we're going to be caught out a lot less when we're building up from the back in the 3-5-2, which is very positive. The only thing is, when it comes to attacking, it does require, because the full wing backs are not going to get as much support out wide. Like when Son was helping Perisic and Richarlison's helping Doherty, that's going to be less of that when we're playing this formation. So I think wherever every formation there's give and take, it's positives and negatives, and it's not the perfect formation, but I definitely think in certain aspects it's going to help us. And I think it definitely gives us more control. We're less likely to get overrun. Defensively as well, I feel like having those three in the middle, it's going to be so difficult for opposition teams to kind of play through us.
Every time we've gone 3-5-2, I mean, we've been so solid, haven't we?
Yeah,
we've
really
given up
solid.
hardly any chances. That Leicester game in the second half, the Brighton game as well, until we moved to the 3-4-3. I mean, we're not giving away too many chances with that 3-5. To be fair, 3-4-3, we're not giving away that many chances either. But
even less,
yeah, we look even more solid. And I think going into that Manchester United game, I think 3-5-2 could be the way to go anyway, even if we had all the players available.
For sure, especially with if Ten Hag, if they're going to come at us, if they're going to play the way that he wants to play, which is more front foot, 100%, that could lead to a situation where we're really creating chances in the space. But I think we did really well for me in that period, just after Richarlison got injured and then we scored. I think in that period we were really good. We created quite a few chances. We got the goal. After the goal, up until we scored the second goal, I don't think we were as creative. I don't think we were losing control or anything, but I think we kind of, I wouldn't say we sat off, but we were kind of less aggressive. We maybe allowed Everton a bit more possession without really creating anything. And then obviously later on in the game, Doherty got more into it. Harry Kane was providing good dribbles, and we got the second goal to relieve all the pressure, make sure we got all 3 points. So I think the formation worked. I'm just saying I don't think we. I think maybe we created better chances in the second half, but I still think it was, in terms of the chances created, it was fairly similar to what we were doing in the first half. Just the first half, Everton maybe were doing some better defending than they were in the second half. Well, but I was pretty happy. With the overall performance.
Well, let's go and have a look at the stats and see if they back that up.
Yeah, so this is the stats for the overall game. We had 62% possession, total shots 21 to Spurs, 4 to Everton. On target, we had 7 shots on target throughout the game. So Pickford made 7 saves. Pickford made 5 saves. We scored 2 goals. Shots off target 6. Corners, we had 7-1. Big chances 3-1. Shots inside the box. Look at that, 15 shots inside the box compared to 6 outside. So look at that, Lloris didn't have to make a save all game. So it was really a dominant display by Spurs. If you look at the first half, Spurs had 60% possession. Total shots, Spurs had 10 compared to Everton's 4. Shots on target, obviously we only had 1. No shots on target for Everton throughout the whole game. Corners, we had 4 corners to Everton's 1. Big chances, we had 2 big chances in that first half compared to Everton's 1. Shots inside the box, we had 5, and shots outside the box 5. So we had 10 shots in the first half, and then you look at the second half, We had 11 shots, 6 on target, 1 off target. Big chances 1, so technically we had less big chances in the second half. But the big one is shots inside the box. We had 10 shots inside the box compared to 5 in the first half. So we're definitely getting inside the box a lot more and getting shots off. Corners, we had 1 less corner in the second half than we did in the first half. But the big one is, first we had slightly more possession, 63 to 37. And the big one is, look at the shots for Everton, 0, 0, 0, 0. That's the big thing for me that the formation change did. I think I think what I would say is, for me, in terms of the chances created and how we were getting forward, I think it was maybe slightly better, but I didn't think it was night and day from the first half to the second half. I think it was fairly similar. But what they did do was those small moments in the game in the first half where Everton were getting into it and they got a chance or two and obviously made a mistake and they had a couple of chances, that completely wiped that out in the second half, and they literally didn't have a shot on goal in that second half. And that's what changing to 3-5-2 did. It completely shut them out. It made us so solid in the centre, and it literally gave Everton no chance as soon as we got that goal to get back in the game.
Absolutely.
And if you look at the average position quickly as well, one thing I'll notice as well, I said when Perisic plays with Son is usually penned back a bit, but actually Son finally, look how far forward, so Perisic is there on the right hand side. Number 14, he's so far forward, yet Son's even further forward than him, and that's what we need to do when they're both together, because usually Perisic is really far forward and Son has to drop back a bit, and he's like nearer to like where Højbjerg is on the halfway line. But thankfully Perisic was getting really far forward, but Son as well was still staying forward. It wasn't having to track back too much, and maybe that was to do with Everton playing 5 at the back, but for sure Son was very far forward. Kane as well. For all the talk of him dropping deep and stuff, he was our furthest man forward yesterday, and he was really influential.
I noticed that as well. I think Conte must have given him specific instructions to be that number 9, because he gave him those specific instructions last week against Frankfurt, didn't he? To drop deep a little bit, help out Sonny, charge forward and stuff like that. And I think yesterday he got given the task of being that proper number 9, and I think he did it really well. I mean, he was unbelievable yesterday, Harry Kane. I think there was like two nutmegs in there. Yeah. I mean, his
dribbling. I don't know what Conte's feeding him, but his dribbling has been another level recently.
Yeah,
he's getting, like, he won the penalty in midweek. Yesterday, I thought there were a few times where.
Can we talk about this thing with Harry Kane and why everyone's going in on him diving and all this kind of stuff? It was the most stonewall penalty I've ever seen.
You know what? I watched 4 match reactions of Everton fans yesterday. Each one said it was a dive and it was never a penalty. I'm like, what are you watching? I mean,
Jordan
I understand.
Pickford even apologised after he let in the penalty.
But he not only did he apologise, there was not one moment when Pickford was there after the foul where he was like complaining to the ref, or he was like angry. He knew it was a penalty. He was resigned to the fact he gave a penalty. The fact of the matter is, whatever part of the body he caught Kane with, he dived to get the ball. Kane got there first, and he caught Harry Kane, and he actually. Kane had to fall over. Kane would have scored a goal if Pickford hadn't brought him down. So I don't think Kane wanted to go down. He got brought down by Pickford. It wasn't a case that Kane overhit his touch and had no choice but to go down. He would have scored. So there was no need for Kane to go down, but the fact he was brought down by Pickford. So I don't understand. I think the thing is, the reason why people are thinking Kane's a diver is because from a couple of angles it's hard to see the touch from the head, and I understand that. And also, when you're looking at the replays, you're looking at Pickford's hands. You're probably not going to be looking at his head to see where the touch is, because you're going to assume that if he brought him down, it's going to be with his hands. So I think when you're focused on those things from those angles, you don't see any touch. You're like, oh, okay, it's a dive. But if you look on our Twitter anyway, there's a very clear, very stonewall, very clear angle. Kane is brought down by Pickford's head. Pickford dives into Kane. It's not Kane going into Pickford. Pickford definitely dives into Kane. He makes clear contact. He brings him down. It's a definite penalty. And anyone who's saying it's not a penalty is either biased or is not very clever.
I listened to Mark Goldbridge on Talk Sport on the way home, and he was like trying to do this whole call-in show, and the question was, is Harry Kane a diver or is he clever? And I was like,
neither.
What are you on about?
It's unbelievable. I understand there are occasions he's gone down easy, but like, this is not one of them. This is literally a stonewall penalty. I think it's incredible that people are even claiming that he won it easily or anything like that.
Another thing I want to say is that, we talk about every week saying that we think it's good, Spurs getting results, not playing well, and once we click, we're going to be a really hard team to play against, and we're going to be winning a lot of games and all that kind of stuff. I think over the past week, you're seeing signs of Spurs clicking. And I think that it's coming. I think it really is. And I think the last 3 games, when you look at the Frankfurt game, both Frankfurt games, to be fair, when you look at the Brighton game last weekend, and when you're looking at this Everton game, I think you're really starting to see the progressions of this Antonio Conte team now, and I think we're starting to click.
I completely agree. I think we're starting to play a bit better football. I think it's being less stodgy. It's being more fast-paced. It's more one-touch. We're creating more chances. We're actually playing more front foot as well, so we're having more possession. We're not just sitting back and counter-attacking. Yesterday, anyone thinks we just sat back and counter-attacked yesterday. That's not how we won the game. We dominated possession. Exactly. That's a lot of possession. That's like City levels of possession. You know what I mean? Obviously, maybe not City levels of like chances created, but like we had the ball. We were keeping possession really well. We were suffocating the opposition, and I think that's what Conte ultimately wants. I think he wants us to be able to be a team who, when need be, can sit back and soak up pressure and hit and be dangerous on the counter attack. But I think at the end of the day, I think Frankfurt as well were much more on the front foot. We had much more possession and we were creating chances, I think, yesterday. So I think things are coming along for sure for Antonio Conte and this team. And I'm really happy with how we're progressing along the season. I'm seeing a lot of salty Arsenal fans on Twitter saying Tottenham are getting worse and worse each week, and I can't believe that. I can't believe they're near the top of the Premier League. They're so horrible to watch, and I'm like, you're just salty. You're not watching Tottenham at all. We're clearly getting better. We're being better to watch as well. I don't think it's this, as some would say, fossil football that people are saying. I think it's better than that, in my opinion. And I think the results speak for themselves. It's effective football as well. So I don't think it's this super uber defensive football, maybe like people are saying, it's the same like it was under Mourinho. I don't agree with that. For me, I think it's better than that. Totally
agree. In terms of a few individuals to talk about, obviously we've spoken about Højbjerg and Bentancur. I thought both of them were absolutely sensational yesterday. Matt Doherty we've spoken about. I thought second half he really came to life and put in a really good performance, influencing things going forward. What did you make out of his display?
Yeah, a really strong display again. I was really happy with him.
It's better as well from last week, wasn't it?
Yeah, 100%. And I think he really grew into the game. I thought second half, I thought he played really, really well. I was just really happy with him. I think he's had a pretty good season overall. And I think he's going from strength to strength.
But Perisic, on the other hand, I mean, I think he had a really strong start to the game, first 15 minutes or so. But I felt like he kind of weaned out the game as the game wore on. I don't know how you felt. A bit.
I thought he had a really strong first half. I thought his crossing was really good. I thought Seamus Coleman didn't really know what to do with him. I thought I thought Coleman was struggling to deal with both him and Son on that left-hand side.
I thought the first 15 minutes he put in about 2 or 3 really strong crosses.
Peaches. Yeah, and I thought I actually thought Son and Perisic were linking up really well together for once. For all the talk of they can't play together, I thought that was evidence that for sure that they're starting to understand each other a bit more. I was really happy with them too. I think second half, I thought he was okay. Maybe he wasn't as good as he was in the first half, but I thought he was still carrying a bit of that threat down the left-hand side. There were a couple of occasions as well where he got in, where he even right at the end of the game, he turned Tarkowski, got into the box, and unlucky for him, Tarkowski just blocked his shot. It was a good run from him, showing he still has that energy even in the latter stage of the game to get beyond defenders. So for me, overall, it was a good display from Perisic. It was an improved display from him compared to some of his other performances this season. And I think his set pieces were still pretty good. I thought they were dangerous. And I think his crossing, whenever he gets a cross in the box, more often than not, it's a very dangerous cross and it's hard to deal with. And I thought he was good overall. I was really happy with him, to be honest. And Conte seemed delighted with him after the game.
Yeah, he definitely seemed delighted with Doherty, that's for sure. And
Doherty,
Perisic, yeah. That big hug he gave Doherty as he was coming off the pitch was great to see. In terms of the defence, I thought all 3 of them were sensational. Dyer, Romero, Davis.
Dominant.
I mean, Davis especially, the way he was driving forward, that That ball he put into Harry Kane for that volley was absolute peach of a ball. All three of them, nothing got past, apart from that little mix-up Romero had with Højbjerg. Nothing got past all three of them the whole day, pretty much.
Yeah, it was pretty simple to deal with, all of them. And I'm even looking on the lineup on the average position. It seemed as if we almost played like a 4-2-4. In a way, because if the positions of the defenders, like Doherty and Davis, were both on the halfway line. You can bring it up. You can see here, look, Doherty and Davis on the halfway line, Romero and Dyer like next to each other, with then Bentancur and Højbjerg in the centre, with Richarlison, Kane, Son and Perisic almost making like a 4 in the attack. And it's interesting that could be potentially seen as a 4-2-4, because apparently in his early days, Conte used to play that formation when he just before he even managed Juventus, when he was managing. I can't remember, he was managing
Siena?
before, something like that. He actually used to play a 4-2-4 formation, so clearly he understands that way, and that is kind of what we were in a way playing yesterday, according to the average position. So I think that's very interesting. I thought the back three, I agree with you. I don't think Davis gets enough credit. I thought he was brilliant yesterday. I saw at half time, I was in the group chat, and people were saying, "Oh, Davis, he's not doing enough creative passing." I'm like, I don't know if you're watching the same game. I thought passing was brilliant. I thought he was doing some really good passes into Harry Kane and into Heung-min Son in behind. And maybe, I don't know if he's learning a thing or two from Longley, but his passing seems to be a lot more crisper, a lot more into the channel.
Let's be honest, he was doing this at the back end of last season as well, I believe. Like, people don't give Ben Davies enough credit for what he does in a Tottenham shirt, and I think he's been brilliant ever since Conte has come in. And people talking about his creative passing, I think he's been doing that under Conte last season as well. He's been driving up the pitch pretty well last season as well.
That's the big difference between him and Longley for me, is because Davies is more accustomed to being a left back, he's actually more comfortable being in those full-back positions and maybe Clement Longley is, and when he gets forward, he's more likely to either overlap or be an option there, whereas Longley, I think, is more comfortable just in that centre-back position, in the left-sided centre-back role in his own half, and albeit he's a good passer, I think Davis is more comfortable in the opposition half than Longley is, and that's maybe one of the differences between the two. But I thought Davis had a really strong showing. I think Romero, again, he's getting better and better. He's getting better and better, and he's almost back to his best. I
gave him man the match yesterday.
I thought it was
on
brilliant.
Reflection, maybe it was Højbjerg, but I thought Romero was a close second, if anything.
I thought he was brilliant. I agree with you.
Who
I
was
thought
yours?
absolutely brilliant. I think Harry Kane. I think just his all-round game. I thought he was back to that Harry Kane who was just having so many shots. I think he had 7 shots he was just everywhere, and he was creating things. He got the goal. I thought he had 4 shots on target as well. So his dribbling, I think, was what took over the edge as to what a complete performance it was. So I gave it to Kane, but I thought there were a lot of really strong performances. Romero. I think Romero, his passing is starting to get back to the levels it was last season. He's playing some really nice, accurate passes into the front line. There was one to Harry Kane in the second half, which Kane turned and shot on a swivel, which forced Pickford into a save, but all came from Romero. He played another really good poor pass into Perisic into the front line as well. So those passes are starting to become more accurate, whereas they'd lost their way a bit. And how many times did he aggressively just win the ball back off Maupay or McNeil or one of the front three? It was unbelievable, and in the air as well.
Every time it came close to him. Every time it came close to him, he was dominant in the air, on the floor, wherever it may be. It was just that one little mess up with him and Højbjerg.
Yeah. And that happened. That can happen sometimes. I think it was a bit of lack of communication. If anything, it might have been Højbjerg's fault because he took the touch away from Romero, and then Onana was able to go through. So I thought Romero, near perfect performance from him yesterday, phenomenal. Lloris didn't have anything to do. He could have just sat, put his feet up and made a cup of tea. He didn't have anything to do yesterday. So really strong showing overall. I'm really happy with the direction this team is going. Conte said yesterday he can sleep very, very happy because he knows that the team had a really good performance. And I think we're getting over maybe the stodginess we had earlier in the season. We're starting to really get those good quality performances out of the team now.
I'll tell you what, though, this World Cup's coming at the wrong time.
Yeah, potentially. I mean, we've got 8 games still to go to the World Cup, so it's still a long way to go, but we're starting to come into form.
8 games, though, is it?
8 games overall, I think. 2 Champions League, 1 Carling Cup, and 5 Prem games.
4, 5 Prem games, yeah. It's a shame it's coming, this World Cup, because we're just getting into our groove and we're getting some momentum behind us. It is a big shame, but it is what it is. Every team's got to deal with it. But at the end of the day, that is your match review for the 2-0 win against Everton at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. Tottenham now sitting third in the Premier League, level points with Man City, a point behind Arsenal. Both of them play today. So we'll see what happens.
Minutes.
Yeah, we'll see what happens. We'll keep you updated with the scores as well as the stream progresses. But I think it's time to bring on some guests today. Let's bring on some guests. And let's bring on... You know who it is. Don't have to tell you.
Oh my God.
He seems shocked.
Hello.
How's
Hello,
it going,
Kyle.
KPV?
All good. Just watched the highlights of yesterday's game, and I did predict a 2-2 draw with Fulham Bournemouth, but you two haven't seen my predictions on your channel. You didn't check the comments.
Sorry.
You haven't checked.
So you got a 5-pointer.
Yeah, like I should be in Predict the Prem, you two, because I think I know you two predicted a 3-0 win, but I think you haven't picked the star man yet. I think you can't pick the same one, can ya?
No.
No, you can't.
Well, you haven't seen my one yet, so, but yeah, I think I should be involved. Like, just put my name next to you, well, I think next to Ben, shall I say, KPV, and we still comes out on top, but I believe Ben's winning 79 to, what, 70, is that right?
That's correct, yeah.
For now.
No,
Well,
Ben's
actually, the lead is actually extended over this weekend.
The weekend's
Yeah,
not over.
Yeah, Fulham, Bournemouth 2-2, I think Ben got right, so...
I got
everyone,
1-1. I had 1-0 to Wolves as well.
Oh, good lad. I predict 2-2 Bournemouth Fulham, so yay, 2. So, but I want to say yesterday was brilliant. First half, we were not that great. Everton had probably 2 chances. Onana had 2 chances, but yeah, couldn't score past Lloris. And is it Pierre-Emile Forsberg, the Dane Forsberg, as Dave calls him? Højbjerg, what a delivery from Bentancur. It's on Twitter and I saw it and I had to reply and I tagged you in, Ben, and I tagged WeAreTottenhamTV, so make sure to reply. I saw it. What a delivery.
Absolutely, absolutely. Who was your man in the match yesterday?
Easy, there's no debate. It's got to be Kane. Like Sky Sports, but I'll have to go for the Viking.
The Viking.
Not Kane then.
Well, I know there's only one, but I know Session was against Brighton and Son was against Frankfurt, and they gave it to Kane yesterday. But got to be Pierre-Emile Højbjerg, as they call him.
Højbjerg. He's not a basketball player.
No, Højbjerg. You know, like when you're carrying a basket to put food in. That's what Ellie calls him.
Oh, okay, fair enough.
So
fair
are we
enough.
winning Are we winning at Old Trafford on Wednesday, Carl?
Well, of course, because we owe them a beating. They beat us twice, but they're still scared about the 6-1 we gave them 2 seasons ago, remember? You guys done a watch along with Josh, so why not another 6-1? But Penaldo is starting today, so I expect us to win on Wednesday. But as I'm going to say the same thing, Tim, Kula is expected back on the 19th because it says on FPL app. So I checked and he is expected back. So now that Richarlison's out, it looks like he'll miss the World Cup, but hopefully it's nothing serious. He's been Brazil's best striker. Better than Gabriel Jesus, let's be honest.
Exactly.
They're the
Damn
favourites.
right, Carl.
They're the favourites for the World Cup, but that's 2, 3, 6 weeks away. So, but yeah, hopefully it's nothing serious. Like Brian Daigle said, I'd rather put him on the left than the right because I don't think it's that good to put him on the right. But on the left, I'd rather. But now that Richarlison's out, I think we're going to have to go for 3-5-2. And I got some abuse yesterday when I was on David's channel by Rashford.
That's horrible. Rashford?
It was by Rashford. It was not Marcus, but it was someone pretending to be him. And I told him, enjoy playing Thursdays because this Champions League talk only, fella. So go back to Manchester, enjoy losing on today and Wednesday because you're shit. Like, let's be honest, we're not going to top 4. Who cares?
And that's the bottom line because KPV said so.
Because KPV said so. stunner for Bradford. And so we roll on Wednesday. I think you two are going to the game. Is that right?
Damn
That
right.
is
Damn right, Kyle.
goddamn right.
You're damn right. Road. That's road on
Manchester United versus Tottenham at Old Trafford.
And it's live. One live.
All right, KPV, it's been a pleasure having you on today, my friend.
Yeah. So, and hopefully Leeds can do us a favour because their main man is back in Rodrigo, who scored against Chelsea. So, come on, Leeds, do us a favour. If Arsenal lose, we're still only 1 point behind, but they're not playing in a week. We are, so if we win, we go top.
You know what?
Let's
If Arsenal and Liverpool would drop points today, we could go top of the league midweek.
Oh, that's even more brilliant. So let's do this. Come on, Leeds and City today, because I've got Haaland in my team. I've just joined the Liverpool Man City 4 o'clock thing on BetMate. So let's do this. 2 games to watch. Keep us updated on the Leeds games and the Chelsea Villa game as well, mate. Will be appreciated.
And West Ham, don't you worry, we'll keep you updated.
Right,
Big up KPV. Thanks for coming on today, my friend. You're getting a lot of love in the comments, and we'll speak to you very soon.
See you, Kyle.
See you, mate. Bye-bye.
See you. He's not going to listen to Who Let the Dogs Out today, apparently. But let's
What
move
happened to
on.
that? Oh, I can't. We are getting back on.
Let's get on our next guest, Mr. Brian. There you go, everyone. With a beaming smile on his face.
Go on,
2-0
Brian.
yesterday. How you doing?
First of all, I don't know how I follow KPV. How the hell did you? No, I'm good, boys. I'm good. I hope you're good. I'm just coming on, chatting to you guys and everyone, and then I'm off to meet Ben Kaufman and Bobby Kay to go to Niagara Falls for the day.
Oh, lovely.
Very nice. Your happy place.
Exactly. My very, very happy place. My heaven on earth. So, yeah, it's going to be a bit chilly down there, but looking forward to it. But like I spoke to you, Ben, on the way home with Grandpa and Danny, and I spoke to you, Simon, on the fan show. A great performance yesterday.
Yeah, a lot has been made out of our first half performance, saying wasn't great. But me personally, I think it was still dominant. We did give away 2 chances, probably the best chances in the first half. But how did you assess that first half?
It wasn't great, but it was better. It was definitely better. You could see signs of improvement. I mean, obviously Everton had their 2 clear-cut chances, which we kind of self-inflicted on ourselves. But you could see there was a plan, there was a blueprint that they were trying to adhere to. And it was there. It was there. You could see the possession that we were having was increasing. You could see, like we've been saying, I think we haven't been clicking, but you can see certain signs that we're about to snap into action. And we could see that in the second half with the change. But the first half, listen, it's unless we play beautiful football and 3-0 up, everyone's going to go, oh my God, what's this? It's boring. There's ways of assessing it. Boring as in this is just died to watch, or this is just tactical and being played to a strategy. And I think we're leaning more towards a strategy now, more than the painful boring that it had been. And the second half was just so much better. So I was saying, similar to saying, just on the when you two were talking, like I said, it wasn't night and day from the chances we were creating. But what I've wanted to see, and like I've said, and like I was saying for the Fields game, is we need to suffocate their midfield and cut off their oxygen to get it to their front line. And the second half stats prove it. They were done. They were terminated. Arnold Schwarzenegger came out and done his job, and they were terminated, and they had absolutely nothing to do.
Yeah. Yeah, 100%. So on Wednesday night, looking ahead, do you think the decision for the lineup's pretty much made for him now with Richarlison and potentially if Kulusevski is fit, what do you do for Wednesday?
You know what, Kulusevski, we need him back. We need him back badly. But if he's had, what I'm concerned about is if he's had this little injury setback, I don't want to rush him back as soon as he's.
But let's say he's 100% fit. He's 100%. He's got no pain. He's available.
Yeah, he may feel 100% fit. Is he 100% match fit? We don't. Obviously, he's not.
I'm saying, play with the hypothetical, Brian. He's 100% fit. He's available to play. What do you do?
You've been playing too much Championship Manager and looking at the stamina stat to see if he's ready to go. That's what you've been doing.
This is
You're
my
standing-
hypothetical, Brian. Okay?
Okay.
He's 100% fit. He's available to play. He's got no pain. There's no risk of injury. Does he play?
I'll tell you what, I need to live in Simeon hypothetical world more often. It's a wonderful place. Birds are singing, suns are shining. Yeah, listen, I love Kulusevski, and I think if we're going to play a 3, then it's got to be him. If not, then it's got to be the 3-5-2. Because as I've said before, for me in the 3-4-3, I think we can clearly see he's fundamentally the most integral part of it. Yes, Kane and Son get the goals and the glory, but for the assists, for the creativity and everything, Kulusevski is the heartbeat of that front 3. In my opinion, for those things. I think there's certain games we have to play 3-5-2 regardless of personnel, and I think away at Old Trafford is one of them.
I agree with you, Brian.
That's the thing. But what we got to look, like I said with the filth, when I said we keep going there and playing the occasion, not the game. There's certain games where we can see the 3-4-3 will work against certain teams, and there's 3-5-2, and we see now what the 3-5-2. We were still creating chances. We still scored 2 goals when we were in that formation. I think we did. Was the penalty before we went 3-5-2, or they both 3-5-2?
No, they were both after both goals, yeah.
Okay. So they're both 3-5-2. But the most important thing is to cut off their oxygen. And we all know what Christian Eriksen can do with the ball at his feet and time in his hand. I think this game has got prime Basuma doing what he did to Harry Kane on Eriksen. And taking him out of the game, because we all know what he can do, and he's going to be up for this game. So for me, even if Kulusevski was fit, let's go to your hypothetical world again. I'm going 3-5-2, but solely because I think we need to do what we did to Everton in the second half and just suffocate them.
Talk to me about Jed Spence, because he made positive comments, Conte, on Jed Spence in the build-up to this game. Finally got a few minutes at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium, albeit didn't get a touch of the ball because he came on a bit too late. I mean, I think he was standing on the sidelines for longer, waiting to come on than he actually did when he got on the pitch. But do you think he's going to start getting his chances soon?
But first of all, I feel so sorry for this, but he can't catch a break. Even when Conte's about minutes, they don't kick the ball out of play. Like, hold on a minute, wait. And then it's like, well, what 3 minutes? It's like, poor Spence. I really felt for him, but I love Spence. I think he's going to be a great player. What I wanted to see was another player, like I said, like a Perisic in front of him for him to learn off. Because I think in the future he's going to be our right wing back for years to come. He'll be an England international. I've got great confidence in him. I think this whole World Cup and not having the Carabao Cup has been a huge dampener on it, and I think he would have had more chances. And I think what's vital is during this World Cup time, I don't know how they're going to work holidays and Christmas or not Christmas, we play Boxing Day for the players that aren't there. Surely they get more time with their family. But at that time, Conte has got a lot more time to focus on the players that aren't there at the World Cup. And I think he's going to have kind of a pre-season with him, Ben.
Yeah.
He didn't get to have a full one with him because obviously the deal took too long. But this winter break, he's going to have Spence for as long as he wants, and he can really, really get him familiar with the drills and everything. And I think he'll get his chance after the World Cup. And I believe once he gets the chance, he'll take it.
Yeah, let's hope so. Another question I've got for you is I've been feeling all season really that, you know, we're not playing too good. We're getting results. It's a good thing. And once we start clicking, you know, we're going to be a real force within this league. Do you feel that we're seeing the signs of us starting to click now?
Yeah, I really do. You can see it. I mean, Basuma, an incredible performance from the bench yesterday. An incredible performance. He literally elevated Højbjerg and Bentancur, and them two don't really need elevating right now. They're playing so well, but they're allowed to go forward and express themselves some more with the security and insurance that Basuma was there. Doherty became a different player. It's amazing what once the players are there that we've got that they can understand each other, what we can roll out, and that's without Kulusevski in the team. That's without Son firing. He's played much better, but he's not goal-wise. Yes, he's got his 2 games where he's scored 5 goals now, but he's not as consistent as he was in goals. That will come. And when they do, like I said, the defence yesterday, probably the most assured performance from the 3 of them as a combined unit. So there are definitely signs there. And when it does click, we know, like we saw last season, the game against Norwich, right, with Norwich, the Filth game, the Newcastle at home, the Leicester away, the Man City away, the Leeds away, the Villa away. That's what we're capable of. And it's just taking time to bed the guys in. And once they do, I feel sorry for the Premiership. I feel sorry because
Don't feel sorry for them, Brian.
They won't. They don't feel sorry for us. I don't feel sorry for them. That's for sure.
Lord have mercy on their souls, because a lot of backtracking will need to be done. Because it will happen. And listen, like I heard you read out, Ben, to Dan, that Arsenal fan, with the tweet saying, "How are Spurs doing this? They're playing so boring." Listen, this is coming from an Arsenal fan. I don't even know if he's old enough to realise that in the George Graham days they were called boring Arsenal by their own fans and won titles.
Yeah,
So
absolutely.
what? If this is goddamn boring, it leads us to glory. Give me a sleeping bag and a pillow, and I will happily enjoy the boredom. It's mate, this is what's going to happen. If boredom in a scientific equation, if boredom equals trophies, sign me up.
Brian, Ali Gold did a report today suggesting, he said, is quoted as saying, those around Conte suggest he would be keen on a new deal being offered and is willing to discuss a new contract with Tottenham. What does that do for your position on the club if Conte does sign a new long-term contract?
Nothing changes. Nothing changes. Like I've said to you before.
If Conte is happy, why aren't you happy?
Because Conte signed a mammoth contract for mammoth amount of wages. Mammoth wages. And he'll be committed to Spurs, which is fantastic. But like I said, it's a step. We are stepping in the right direction. I've seen it too many times where it's been, this is going to happen, it falls by the wayside. I've told you before, it's going to take 4 or 5 years of constant backing the manager, seeing the club evolve. And when I say constantly backing the manager, before people go, oh my God, here he goes again, I don't mean signing every single player. I understand that. I don't mean players demanding ridiculous wages and being held to ransom. The club should never, ever do that. But I want to see our manager be happy with what he gets and getting a lot of option A on his list, not B or C, not we inquired FC, not monitoring progression FC. I want deals done where we go into a window and we haven't missed vital areas. I want to see us regularly challenging the Man Cities and the Liverpools of this world on a regular basis, not just challenging for top 4, because we've been here, we've done that. Conte, don't get me wrong, Conte is a huge step forward. And I've said this all along. This club is starting to move in the right direction. But I've seen this before where we start moving in the right direction and then something goes wrong and we go back. It's like we go forward 1-2 steps, we go back 3-4 steps. I want us to carry on making these steps forward. I mean, you guys were even doing it when you did it this week, when you did the Google thing, and we had that talk about, and Ben, I spoke to you about this before, late show, when we saw that from Ben Jacob or whatever that journalist was that said that we're already looking for next summer and we'll only spend if top 4 is at risk. If that's true, that's not what I want to be hearing. And as you said, Ben said it correctly. Why are we always doing things from a position of weakness, not a position of strength? That's got to change. That changes, then we're talking. But it's going to take time to see it.
Do you think Conte would sign a long-term deal if he didn't think that was the case?
Yeah, but we've seen other managers, Ben, think that was the case and it hasn't happened.
Yeah, but do you not think it's a different? Do you not think it's different when Conte's here?
Ben, I back that man and his confidence and everything 1 billion %.
Because we all know he'll be out the door if it doesn't follow through.
Exactly. And he won't care about walking out and not getting the payment. So he can sign his contract and be promised. Look at Mbappe now. I'm not saying this is Mbappe. Mbappe's been a little bitch. But he's going mad because apparently certain promises weren't met and he's kicked off a storm. And he kicks off a storm. He kicks off a storm if anything. If it's like Goldilocks, if his porridge is too sweet or hot, he'll but that's the kind of thing. Conte, during this contract, if he's unhappy, will walk. If Conte signs, let's say, a 3-4 year contract, and he's there for his 3-year contract, then you can say, Brian, what do you think? And then I'm up for a discussion. without a doubt. Without a doubt. But it don't change just because Conte signs a bit of paper. I've been here too long and seen it too many times, but it's a step in the right direction.
All right. Brian, always a pleasure, my friend. We'll speak to you very soon. And have a good day, my mate.
Nice one,
I
Brian.
will do. Niagara will be great, and I will be speaking to you within the next 48 hours for confirmation.
Awesome. Looking forward to it.
All right. So all good. Boys, have a wonderful weekend. Everyone in the chat, have a wonderful weekend. And come on, you Spurs.
Come on.
Come on, you Spurs.
Big up. Do we have anyone else? No. All right. We're going to leave it there for today. Player ratings and 5 takeaways will follow. All the 2 o'clock games about to kick off. So enjoy them, and we'll see you very soon. Like, subscribe, and comment. And as always,
Come on, you Spurs.